Have you ever imagined what it's like to wait for decades to become king, only to inherit centuries-old traditions while the modern world races forward at lightning speed? That's exactly the position King Charles III found himself in. Despite being in the public eye for most of his life, there are still countless surprising details about Charles, some so intriguing they border on unbelievable. Today, we're counting down 15 mind-blowing facts about King Charles III that you've probably never heard before. Number 1. He was the longest-serving heir in British history. Charles became heir apparent in 1952, at just 3 years old, when his mother ascended the throne. He then waited a record-breaking 7 decades, longer than any other heir in British history, before finally becoming king. That means he spent more than half a century preparing for a job he wasn't sure he'd get to do for a while. Number 2. He doesn't need a passport. Like his mother before him, King Charles III travels the globe without a passport. The reason? Every UK passport is issued in the name of the monarch. So, in a peculiar twist of logic, the king can't issue one to himself. Meanwhile, other royals like Prince William do need a passport. Number 3. He was once teased for talking to plants. In the 1980s, Charles attracted headlines for admitting he chatted with his plants as part of his gardening routine. The media had a field day portraying him as eccentric. In truth, he was pioneering eco-consciousness before it was fashionable. He believed, and still does, that connecting with nature and respecting natural processes is vital for humanity's well-being. Today, with environmentalism much more mainstream, critics who once laughed at his green ideas often concede that King Charles was ahead of the curve and public advocacy in ways few royals ever had. Number 4. He's deeply involved in architectural reform. One of Charles's lesser-known passions is architecture and urban planning. He has publicly criticized modern architectural styles, famously calling one proposed addition to the National Gallery a monstrous carbuncle. He also helped champion the development of Poundbury, an experimental town in Dorset designed to reflect traditional building styles and walkable neighborhoods. Number 5. He's known for penning the Black Spider memos. Charles has never been afraid to express his views behind closed doors, often sending handwritten letters, with distinctive spidery handwriting, to government ministers, urging action on issues like farming, heritage preservation, and alternative medicine. Even though his position required him to stay politically neutral, these memos made some people feel like he was overstepping his constitutional role. Number 6. He tried to modernize the monarchy, long before taking the crown. While he spent years in the shadow of Queen Elizabeth II, Charles was quietly testing ways to make the institution more accessible. He championed transparent financial reporting for some of the duchies that fund the monarchy, introduced smaller, more personal meet-and-greet events, and supported streamlining the number of working royals. Number 7. He set up one of the UK's largest youth charities. In 1976, Charles founded the Prince's Trust with his Royal Navy severance pay. Initially a modest endeavor, it's grown into one of Britain's most impactful charities, helping over 1 million young people overcome barriers to employment and education. Historically, royal philanthropy was often passive, patronages and ribbon cuttings. But the Prince's Trust is hands-on, offering grants, mentorship, and even enterprise funding. Number 8. He's had a complicated relationship with the media. Charles's private life has been tabloid fodder for decades. His divorce from Diana, his eventual marriage to Camilla, and even his phone call faux pas, Tampongate, have all been splashed across front pages. Number 9. He's the first British monarch who has publicly admitted to adultery. In a 1994 television interview, Charles candidly admitted he had been unfaithful in his marriage to Princess Diana, though he claimed it happened only after the marriage had irretrievably broken down. This confession was a stark departure from the monarchy's traditional never-explain approach to scandals. It sparked massive public debate over whether such personal transparency was necessary or damaging. Some praised him for honesty, others felt it tarnished the dignity of the crown. Number 10. He's exempt from certain laws, yet voluntarily pays taxes. Like his predecessors, King Charles III benefits from sovereign immunity, meaning he can't be prosecuted under typical criminal or civil laws. He also doesn't have to pay income tax, but he's chosen to do so voluntarily since 1993. Continues now that he's king. Number 11. He embraced environmentalism before it was cool. From championing organic farming at his Highgrove estate to giving speeches about climate change back in the 1980s, Charles was an eco-advocate long before green living was mainstream. He's faced criticism from climate skeptics and those who see his lifestyle, private jets, palatial estates, as hypocritical. At the same time, conservationists applaud him for using his high-profile platform to bring crucial issues to public attention. Number 12. He's a patron of hundreds of organizations, but personally focuses on a select few. While royals often hold ceremonial roles in innumerable charities, Charles's approach has been more hands-on, with a smaller set of core interests: heritage conservation, arts education, interfaith dialogue, and youth empowerment. Through initiatives like the Prince's Foundation, he's actively shaped policy discussions about sustainable architecture and community building. By focusing deeply on these areas, he's arguably had more tangible impact than if he spread himself across countless ceremonial patronages. Number 13. His sons inherit some of these privileges, but in a different way. Princes William and Harry were raised in a more media-saturated, socially aware world. William, as the direct heir, has followed in Charles's footsteps on environmental and mental health advocacy, but has also shaped a more modern public persona. Harry took a different path, ultimately stepping away from senior royal duties altogether. Observers point out that Charles's transformation of the monarchy made this divergence possible. The next generation felt empowered to redefine their roles. The monarchy remains in flux, and Charles, now as king, must navigate the repercussions of these shifts, including the ongoing tensions with Harry and Meghan in the U.S. Number 14. He's walked a fine line between tradition and modernization. On one hand, Charles has upheld centuries-old ceremonies and religious obligations, symbolizing the monarchy's timeless continuity. On the other, he's spoken candidly about wanting a more slimmed-down royal family and pushed for reforms in how the monarchy interacts with the media and the public. This duality is a tightrope. Lean too modern, and you risk losing the mystique that keeps the monarchy relevant. Cling too tightly to tradition, and you appear out of touch. Whether he can maintain that balance could determine how well the monarchy thrives under his reign. Number 15. His coronation set subtle precedents. Although the formal event was still rich in pomp and historical references, subtle changes signaled new directions. There was increased emphasis on environmental stewardship, interfaith dialogue, and more inclusive language about serving the realms and territories beyond the UK. Critics questioned whether these nods to modern values went far enough, or whether the monarchy is fundamentally resistant to true diversity. Yet supporters argue that each incremental shift, no matter how small, demonstrates Charles's willingness to adapt an ancient crown to a new era. If nothing else, his coronation showcased how the monarchy remains an ever-evolving institution, contending with the swift currents of global change. Which of these mind-blowing facts surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of King Charles III, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating looks at modern monarchy and beyond. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.